Chris Buescher's NASCAR Cup Series season took a major hit after a surprise midweek penalty dropped him from 12th place to 24th in the driver standings. So, what happened? Let's find out in today's episode. NASCAR's decision shocked many fans and changed the playoff picture in just one day. This wasn't just a small mistake either. This was a serious rule violation that led to big consequences for Buescher and his team, RFK Racing. The penalty came after NASCAR officials inspected Buescher's car at the NASCAR Research and Development Center. His car had been randomly chosen for post-race checks following the Kansas Speedway race, where he had just finished in the top 10. During this detailed inspection, NASCAR found something illegal in the car's front bumper area. The rule that was broken is called Rule 14.5 4G. It relates to the front bumper cover, also known as the front fascia. This rule allows only certain types of reinforcements in a limited area. Teams can use non-metal materials to strengthen the inner part of the bumper cover, but only within 2 inches around the foam. NASCAR found that RFK Racing went beyond that limit. As a result, NASCAR handed out one of its biggest penalties of the season. The team was fined $75,000. Crew Chief Scott Graves was suspended for the next 2 races, and most importantly, RFK Racing and Chris Buescher lost 60 driver points, 60 owner points, and 5 playoff points. These point deductions had an immediate effect on the standings. Before the penalty, Buescher was sitting in 12th place and looking good to make the playoffs. After losing 60 points, he dropped all the way down to 24th place. This point drop shows just how tight the competition is this season. Between 15th and 25th in the standings, the difference is just a few dozen points. For example, Ryan Preece, who is currently holding the final playoff spot, has 251 points. Chris Buescher is only 27 points behind him even after the penalty. That shows that Buescher still has a chance to recover, but now he has to pass several other drivers to get back into playoff position. It certainly won't be easy. This isn't the first time RFK Racing has faced problems in 2024. Earlier this season, Ryan Preece had a great finish taken away after NASCAR disqualified his second-place result at Talladega. They found an extra spoiler shim that wasn't allowed. That disqualification cost Preece more than 40 points. Despite that, he's still clinging onto a playoff spot thanks to 4 top 10 finishes in the first 12 races. Team co-owner and driver Brad Keselowski hasn't had much luck either. He's currently 33rd in the standings and already has 5 DNF results. That's the most of any driver this season so far. The team simply can't catch a break. The penalty to Buescher is a big blow, especially considering how well he performed in 2023. Last year he won 3 races during the summer and made it all the way to the round of 8 in the playoffs. That was a huge success for RFK Racing, a team that has struggled to return to its past glory. Years ago, when it was just Roush Racing, this team was one of the best in NASCAR. In the mid-2000s, they were a powerhouse, even taking up half of the playoff spots in 2005. Drivers like Matt Kenseth, who won a championship with the team, helped make them one of the top names in the sport. But in recent years, they've fallen behind teams like Hendrick Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing, and Team Penske. Still, there are signs of life. Buescher and Preece have shown speed. Buescher qualified second at Kansas, and it looked like he had a real shot at winning. That performance now comes under a cloud because of the illegal part found on his car. It's unclear if that piece gave him an advantage, but NASCAR clearly thought it crossed the line. RFK Racing may need to look more carefully at their quality control before the next big race, the Coca-Cola 600. Speaking of that race, the Coca-Cola 600 is one of NASCAR's biggest events. It happens on Memorial Day weekend every year at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's also the longest race of the season at 600 miles. This year's race will be extra special for Jimmie Johnson, a 7-time Cup Series champion. He'll be racing in what will be his 700th career Cup Series start. That's a huge milestone that only a few drivers in history have achieved. Jimmie Johnson made a big return to racing this year. He's not full-time, but he owns part of Legacy Motor Club and has been racing part-time. His season started strong when he finished 3rd in the Daytona 500, which was his best finish since coming back to NASCAR. That race gave fans hope that he could still compete. In last year's Coca-Cola 600, Johnson finished 29th after rain shortened the race, but this year he hopes to do better. Even a top 20 finish would be a good result for someone running part-time in such a long and challenging event. The 600 will also connect to another major racing event, the Indianapolis 500, which is also held on Memorial Day weekend. This year, Jimmie Johnson is doing something very special just before the Indy 500 begins. He'll be giving Tom Brady, the 7-time Super Bowl champion and new NFL analyst for Fox, a ride in what's known as the fastest seat in sports. This will happen right before the Indy 500 begins, and it'll be a big moment for TV viewers. Johnson and Brady are both legends in their sports, and Fox, which is broadcasting both the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600, is using their star power to create buzz. After that, Johnson will fly to Charlotte to race in the Coca-Cola 600. Carvana, one of his sponsors, even created a special paint scheme for the race to celebrate his 700th start. The timing is perfect. 7 championships, 700 races, and it's happening during one of NASCAR's most important weekends. While Jimmie Johnson is preparing for his big race, another story is developing at Hendrick Motorsports. Kyle Larson, one of their top drivers, is attempting something very rare, racing both in the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 on the same day. This is known as doing the double, and only a few drivers in history have tried it because it's so difficult to manage both schedules and the physical stress of racing around 1,100 miles in one day. To make this possible, Hendrick Motorsports has a backup plan. Justin Allgaier will be standing by as Larson's substitute driver. If anything goes wrong, like weather delays or travel issues, Allgaier will race in the 600 instead of Larson. This is the second year in a row that Allgaier has taken on this role. Last year he was called in at the last minute and finished 13th in the rain-shortened race. Justin Allgaier has had a strong year so far. He's currently leading the Xfinity Series standings by 50 points and is coming off a career highlight where he won his first Xfinity Series championship. He even qualified for the Daytona 500 earlier this year and finished 9th in his team's very first Cup Series race. That shows just how much experience and talent he brings, even though he's not a full-time Cup driver. This weekend, Allgaier will be in charge of practicing and qualifying Kyle Larson's car at North Wilkesboro Speedway. This is important because while Larson is busy with his Indy 500 plans, the Cup Series can't wait. Allgaier will make sure the car is set up properly and ready in case he needs to race it. Though he's not a flashy name like Carl Edwards or Kevin Harvick, both of whom tested at Wilkesboro last year, Allgaier has proven he's more than capable and fully deserves the chance. Now, before you leave, just don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell while you're down there.